Okay, now it's starting. So the first thing it wants us to do is summarize how the model works. Using that link that she sent us to guide our explanation.
Okay. So looking at that.
So I think basically what I understood was there's like, but then within each 5-step, there's like a process.
Yeah. Yeah, so pre-contemplation, the processes to get out of pre-contemplation into contemplation is the consciousness raising and the dramatic relief and environmental reevaluation, right?
I'm sorry, what was that?
So in my notes, I have consciousness raising, dramatic relief, and environmental.
I'm sorry, you're still breaking up.
Dang it.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, so in my notes, I don't know if I took my notes wrong because looking at my notes and then looking at this picture. So in my notes, I don't have any processes in my pre-contemplation. I just
Okay.
have them in contemplation, the consciousness raising, the dramatic relief, and the environmental reevaluation. So are those processes the processes taken to get out of pre-contemplation into contemplation? Does that make sense?
Yeah, you kind of cut out, but I think what you said is right. If I understood everything.
Okay.
Yeah, from what I got, pre-contemplation is just when they don't understand or they don't intend to act, and then you're listing the process within that stage, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like
Okay.
pre-contemplation, they don't have any intent to change. No motivation, no interest. Perhaps they're misinformed. And then through consciousness raising, getting them the facts and the ideas and the concepts of why it's important to change and, risks and stuff like that, or dramatic
Yeah.
relief and environmental evaluation. Through those processes, they get to contemplation, right? Is that how it works?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So then contemplation, they're still not, gonna do it today, but they're at least thinking of changing sometime in the future, between 3 months, 6 months, whatever. But they
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, it says maybe in about 6 months. So they become more aware of the side effects and kind of start having a reason to want to change.
and then to get from contemplation to preparation is the self-evaluation process, right?
Is what?
Self-evaluation or reevaluation, I mean. Am I cutting out again?
I'm not actually sure. Did that explain? Does go with which state? Oh, okay, I see. So there's like a chart and it explains the processes. Okay, yeah. Yeah, you're right. I think that's Okay, sorry, I didn't understand that very well from the reading, but I see the chart now.
Yeah, I went from the readings in my notes, I have the processes in the wrong stage, I think. Because I have like self reevaluation with preparation, like as a bullet point to preparation. But I think that's the process that gets you into preparation from contemplation. Does that make sense? I feel like I'm just kind of word vomiting.
Yeah, so it looks like from the chart it says for pre-contemplation, like you says, consciousness raising, dramatic relief, environmental reevaluation, and then contemplation and self-reevaluation. Is that contemplation and preparation? Because it's kind of like in the middle.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand. I think it's what I think is those are the processes that get you from one to the next. So it's not necessarily they apply to both.
Yes, I'm sorry, you're cutting out. It's hard to
That's okay. See how on
understand
the
you, but I think you have the right idea. It's so there's like an overall stage, and then the processes are what get you from like stage 1 to stage 2.
yeah.
Okay. So the next stage is preparation. And this is still right.
Think, yeah. To get from preparation to actual action would be self-liberation, which is, increasing what was it? Self-liberation, increased social opportunities, especially for deprived, oppressed, advocacy, empowerment, smoke-free zones, better options. Oh, so it's just self-liberation. It's just increasing or changing, like setting alternatives, like instead of, I think it's just like changing your environment, eating salads or being in smoke-free zones or I don't, I don't know.
Yeah, just like starting to
Actually,
make little changes, but
yeah.
you're not like ready to commit. Like you have a plan maybe, and you're doing like one or two things, but you're not committing to changing completely.
Oh, here's what I put. I said making a firm commitment to change, both the belief that one can change and the commitment and recommitment to act on that belief. So it's probably, I mean, it's a commitment to do so and a belief to do so, but sometimes you fall, and so you have to recommit. And so, yeah, like you said, like just making little actions and changes.
I'm sorry. I'm just kind of guessing as to what you're saying, but I think you're right.
Okay.
I can only get words here and there. So next is action. Right.
Yeah.
Or did you already finish explaining the rest of it?
No, I was trying to explain self-liberation,
Oh, okay.
but action is, making that it's, making the actual changes and actually doing what you're committing to and overcoming the challenges, overcoming the bad behavior.
Yeah. And that is with that also that's self-liberation, right?
Yeah, self-liberation gets you into action, and then to move
Oh, okay.
out of action into maintenance would be the other processes, which there's quite a.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense?
So that is counter conditioning, helping relationships, reinforcement management, and stimulus control.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Did we want to break down those two or just move on?
Let's just move on.
Okay. Sorry.
No, that's okay.
Okay. So next it says it says to discuss the processes and how they relate to the stages of the model, which I think we kind of did.
Oh, yeah.
And then it says what kind of interventions centered on the processes move people through the stages.
Okay. So, well, consciousness raising, the first process, I think that would have a lot to do with education strategies
Yeah, for sure.
and probably dramatic relief.
Yeah. It's kind of hard without my chart. That chart's really helpful that you showed us last week.
Um,
I can't remember all of the interventions.
Let me see. Yeah, so there's like health educational strategies, health policy enforcement strategies, health communication strategies, which that could also be good for dramatic relief, probably,
Yeah.
because it could, support groups or, well, I guess they're not ready to do support groups, probably.
Yeah.
But mass media, like billboards and stuff, that could help.
Yeah. And that might be kind of good for environmental reevaluation as well. So you can kind of like take into account, the what's in the environment, like the laws and policies that restrict you from doing things and why they might be there, and then like any advertisements against it, and why people take the time to make advertisements against a behavior if it didn't actually mean something.
Yeah. Okay. Um, Intervention
And
for
self.
self-reevaluation. Um,
So that's just how one like perceives himself. So maybe that could also go with social activities. Just kind of have like positive evaluations of yourself to help you realize maybe that you're better off without the bad activities and influences in your life.
yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that. I think, yeah.
One of the things it says in the reading that can also help with self reevaluation is imagery techniques. So that could also maybe be advertisements, like, positive advertisements about other people.
That's good. Yeah, I like that.
I don't know if that actually makes sense, but
I know what you mean. Like
yeah.
kind of like the Dove commercials where it talks about, it shows like, have you seen those where like they have them describe themselves to an artist and so he draws them without looking at them, and then he has somebody that met that person explain them too, and then they compare the pictures, and the person that
Yeah.
explained the person looks way better than the person that explained themselves. So
Yeah.
stuff like that. And I know what you mean.
Yeah, definitely that would be like positive. It also says healthy role models, so it's
Hmm.
people you look up to.
Yeah.
Okay, environmental reevaluation.
Um.
So that like has to do with how what you're doing impacts others. It says here documentaries, testimonials, interventions. I'm not sure. I think that falls under one of the other interventions, like documentaries and testimonials. I think fall under the interventions, but I can't remember which one it is.
Um. Maybe communication strategies.
Yeah, that would work. So then you could like, have people talk to you about how your behavior could be affecting them.
Yeah.
And then you could also hear from people who went through it and how what they were doing affected the people around them, and you could get an outside perspective.
Yeah.
Next is self-liberation.
Um. I think probably social activities would probably be good for that too. Um,
Yeah.
just to
And
help.
it also says like New Year's resolutions, so that could maybe go along with goals, like short-term and long-term goals like we talked about last time.
Yeah. Maybe even
And
like you could, I mean, depending on your population, your target or whatever, you could do like policy enforcement, like like making their lunch breaks longer so that they have more time to get a decent meal in, if they're trying to eat healthy, or longer
yeah,
breaks so that if they want to go to the gym during their lunch break, they can, or stuff like that. Maybe.
yeah, that would be really good. I like that. Like, I don't know if it was this class, but we watched a video about how one company during their breaks they went for a walk. Like they had walks
Mm.
for like 10 minutes or something, so that they could kind of wake up. And I think that would be good, like you were saying.
Yeah, yeah, perfect example.
Okay, next is social liberation.
Social liberation.
So that's probably social activities or like communication. Um, okay, so I think that's self-explanatory, right? Next
What's
is
that?
counter conditioning. I said I think that one's self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Okay. So next is counter conditioning.
So probably behavior modification activities. So finding better options or better replacements. So like instead of smoking, go on a walk. Or
Yeah.
stuff like that. I went brain dead. I
Yeah.
forgot
It's okay. Me too. Yeah, like here it says nicotine replacement. Like that's something you could like chew gum or eat sunflower seeds. I know, or some of the things I've heard as a replacement for that, or even just education to like figure out what to do with your spare time. And,
Yeah.
next is stimulus control. So this one mentions self-help groups as one of the options for that. I think that's better.
But I also, I wrote down from the reading parking further away, so you have to walk farther to the office. So then you're,
Yeah, that,
engaging in exercise. Or, changing your environment, like who you hang out with, or staying away from the smoking zones if you're tempted to smoke, or, you know.
yeah, that would be really good. Like just having like an environment that isn't going to have those temptations, but rather those like cues to action.
Maybe buy a gym membership, like the gym that you pass every day on your way home from work. That would be a cue to go exercise.
Yeah, you can't avoid it because you pass it. Yeah, that would be good. Or just like replacing, just making sure you're stocked up on healthy foods so you're not tempted to just go out and buy something.
Yeah.
Next is contingency management.
Um,
Well, this is like positive reinforcement.
I like how it emphasized rewards instead of punishment. Sometimes we like to punish ourselves when we do something wrong, or we set goals and have a punishment if we don't achieve it. But better to do rewards. It's more motivating if you're going to get something positive out of it.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that would fall under.
I'm not sure either. It could maybe be that behavior replacement one.
Well,
And then you could have like, you know, positive other options to do. Like you get to go to meet like a fun workout class, and
yeah, I like that.
it's like a good experience. Sorry, I kind of forgot where I was going with that.
No, I got you. I get your vibe.
Okay, so just like replace the negative with positive. And the last one is helping relationships.
So obviously, like health coaches or social groups,
Yeah,
maybe having a buddy system. If you're setting a goal, have somebody set it with you, so you're not doing it by yourself.
Yeah, or you could become part of an organization that, has positive things, and you can go there to feel reinforced, make friends and stuff who are in a good environment.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome.
Cool. The next thing is, do you remember those scenarios in the overview?
Oh, yeah.
So it just wants us to pick one and discuss how you can apply this model to those scenarios. So one was about video games, and then the other one was a roommate that had signs of depression. So I don't know which one you'd like to talk about.
Let's do video games.
Video games? Okay, so it's
So how to read
so
the model?
yeah, how you can apply the trans theoretical stages of change model to your chosen scenario. And it says for your chosen scenario, work together to develop interventions centered on the processes that would move this population through the stages of change.
So obviously these guys are in pre-contemplation because they like their behavior and they don't see anything wrong with it.
Yeah.
So
Sorry.
that's okay. So good interventions would first be, educational, teaching them of the risks of video games, the effects that it has on their brains, on their physical appearance and health. If they're young men at BYUI and they want to get girls, get married, then maybe that would be a good thing to teach them. Like, if you want wives, you can't be playing video games all day.
Yeah, exactly. And just like you said, letting them know the negatives of what they're doing. You have to get a job to support yourself and things like that. And video games probably won't pay you to survive. Um, so then for dramatic relief, so for that one it says role playing. So just like an intervention to help them, feel more comfortable with their day-to-day activities instead of feeling like they have to play video games or feeling like video games are better.
Yeah, and maybe finding, people to give testimonials to kind of help them feel that, feel the negative effects of video games so that they feel
Yeah,
like that it's not just fun games, that it has consequences.
yeah, that would be good. Just let them know that even though they think there's nothing wrong with what they're doing, like other people have had problems. Then for self-reevaluation, maybe we could show them people who, still have have successful lives, but also make times to play video games, but just in a more moderate amount of time.
That's a good idea. So they don't have to feel obligated to give it up completely. Find a happy balance.
Yeah. Sorry, you broke up a little bit.
I just said that's a good idea. It will help them. What did I say? It'll help them find
They don't
Oh,
have to
it'll
give
have
it
to
up
be
completely. Is that
yeah.
what you said?
Yeah, they don't have to give it up completely, but they can find a happy balance.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And for environmental reevaluation, um,
Maybe have them like take a survey of like how well they're before they started playing video games, so maybe like 6 months ago or whatever, how well like how clean their room was or how good they felt physically or how good certain relationships were with their roommates or their parents or stuff like that kind of for like especially like like how well like the area around them is cleaning because if they're playing video games they don't have time to clean their room or put away the food that they got out 5 hours ago.
yeah, yeah, I think that would be really good. Just like make them more aware of their environment and how playing video games is affecting their relationships and their homes and their health. That was for environmental reevaluation, right?
Right.
Okay. And self liberation. I'm not sure. I think this one is they could make goals like what are some other things they could do in their spare time or where do they want to be, in the future, and if playing video games all day is really going to get them there.
Yeah. Maybe set goals for how much time they'll spend, or
Yeah,
like setting a schedule. Like for this block of time, I'm gonna do homework. For this block of time, I go to work. For this block of time, I can play one or two video games. Like
yeah, yeah, I think that would be good, like scheduling their days or trying to minimize the amount of hours they play slowly, like get rid of 1 hour a week until they're down to a reasonable amount of time.
yeah,
Okay, then it's social liberation.
they'll find alternative social activities. Go to FHE, go on dates on the weekends, try to get out of the house, get involved in
Yeah.
intramural sports.
Yeah, that would be good. Just like, um, yeah, go to the extra activities that they have on campus or something.
Yeah, go to
Um,
the gym.
yeah, 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 that's good. I like counter conditioning. Um, it's kind of the same. Just find like
Yeah,
other things that they can do that they like. That's gonna take their mind off of wanting to play video games.
yeah.
Hmm, okay. Stimulus control. Maybe like put away your video games after you're done playing, so stop the game so you're not tempted to just pick it up when
Yeah.
you're free.
Maybe go do your homework somewhere else so that you're not distracted. If you're in the library, you don't have the temptation to play video games
Yeah, that would be good.
or find new friends to hang out with that don't play video games.
Yeah, branch out, find friends that like to do other things too.
Yeah.
Um, and contingency management. I feel like that's also kind of the same.
Yeah. Maybe finding a way to reward yourself, like, hey, if I don't play video games for this amount of time, then, or like, I don't know, some type of reward.
Yeah, or even like, if you're diligent and you work and you do your homework and you get all your chores done, then your reward can be like an hour of video games.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, I like that.
You get other things done first. I'm not really sure what else would work for that one.
I don't know. Maybe consequences. Okay, if I go over my time, then I have to go run a mile.
Yeah, right. Like I have to spend 30 minutes at the gym for every amount of time I go over.
Yeah.
That'd be good. Then helping relationships.
So, like we mentioned before, like
Yeah,
finding better friends.
yeah,
Or maybe, like, if you're trying to quit playing video games, then get your roommates to do it with you.
yeah. Like it mentioned, the scenario was a group of guys. So like if they all started trying to, do other things together and made sure that they weren't going back on their word.
Yeah.
All right, I think that covers that. Is that good for you?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. um, yeah, so that's pretty much all it tells us to do.
Oh, cool. Well, we've
Doesn't say
about,
anything about the application.
yeah, that's weird. I noticed that though when I was looking.
Maybe that was the application. Oh, that is the application. Was the interventions we just talked about. Sorry.
Oh, perfect.
I'm sorry. I should have wrote it down.
Yeah, that's okay. You can just remember.
Okay, cool. It just says to decide a group leader for next week, but not everyone's here, so we'll just send an email out.
Okay. Sounds good. Thanks for
Okay.
doing this, even though you've been just sick and crazy and
Oh, no worries. I'm sorry. I totally messed everything up, and
oh,
half the group couldn't be here.
it wasn't your fault. We just didn't communicate. It started with me, so, so it's just as much my fault as it is yours. So don't worry.
Okay. Cool. Well, hopefully it'll
All
be
right.
okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Well,
Well, have a good evening.
thanks. You too. Have fun unpacking and stuff.
Thanks. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.